QFX 왁스가 무료 배포 중입니다. 약 3만원 꿀템이에요. 기간 한정 내 받으면 평생 무료 사용 가능합니다. 레알 빅마 꿀템이에요. 해당 학기에 걸고 노브감만 올리면 쉽고 빠르게 믹싱을 할 수 있습니다. 보컬, 드럼, 베이스, 기타 등에 걸고 쓸 수 있어요. 초보자분들이 사용하기 좋습니다. 다운받는 법은 더보기에 있어요. 사운드 토이즈 5.4가 34% 할인 중입니다. 사운드 토이즈 여름 세일이 최대 73% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Counted all the gold. Now we can buy a ship to sail and take back. Counted all the gold. Now we can buy a ship to sail and take back. Counted all the gold. Now we can buy a ship to sail and take back.
Alright guys, I believe you had that also, but let's just have a final check. I'm gonna use an EQ curve analyzer to really see what is happening, in-depth.
스킵스 옴니 채널 2가 66% 할인 중입니다. 채널 스틸이 꿀템이에요. 믹마할 때 좋습니다. 작업에 필요한 다양한 이펙터가 내장되어 있어요. EQ, 컴프, 프리 등을 조절해 원하는 사운드를 만들 수 있습니다. 사운드 퀄리티가 좋아서 해외에서 인기가 많아요. 웨이브스 1.5도 20% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Hey, world on my line, where you at? Cruising through the city. Hey, world on my line, where you at? Cruising through the city with my sunroof back. Tell my enemies that I'm back. Cruising through the city with my sunroof back.
All right, let's give it a little more compression.
Hey, world on my line, where you at? Cruising through the city with my sunroof back. Tell my enemies that I'm back.
You can see we're getting 6 to 9 dB there, and we're not really hearing compression. Let's go a little bit further. Let's go to 14 dB.
Hey, world on my line, where you at? Cruising through the city with my sunroof back. Tell my enemies that I'm back.
All right, so we're getting more and more into compression, and it's not really sounding compressed, and that's one of the reasons why I like soft knee compressors. Now let's move over to FET, which is a more aggressive compression style, and take a listen.
Hey, world on my line, where you at? Cruising through the city.
ATR 102가 88% 할인 중입니다. 역대급 딜이에요. 마스터링 꿀템입니다. 사운드를 빈티지하게 만들 수 있어요. 더욱 아날로그한 감성을 낼 수 있습니다. 시티팝, 레트로, 팝, R&B 등 다양한 장르에 걸고 쓸 수 있어요. 강추 플러그인이에요. UAD 여름 세일이 최대 88% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Tape. So gain staging is everything. Go figure, right? The good news is that you have auto calibration and you have also reference level, the red arrow sticker. So that's the ideal level. Also a safe level. You can't go wrong with that. But from there, you can tweak to taste. If you want more headroom, if you want more crunch, more color, we'll see there are many functions to fine tune all these things. You can also disengage the auto gain and you can tweak, record and reproduce individually for creative purposes. In the closed configuration, these are the controls that we have. We can link and unlink the channels. Mind you, this is a master tape plugin. Although you can use it on groups, on single tracks for special effects or adding extra color, this is the intended function. So either on your mix bus or for mastering. You can link and unlink left and right if you want to keep a wider stereo image or if you want to tweak individually certain parameters, which we'll see when we open the extra control. Below we have two EQ curves called emphasis EQ, the NAB and the CCIR. These are two frequency responses, pre-EQs if you want to call it that way. Mind you that these emphasis EQ are only functioning if you have either 15 or 7.5.
토탈 스튜디오 4 맥스가 66% 할인 중입니다. 종결자 패키지요. 미디 작곡에 필요한 악기와 이펙터가 전부 들어있습니다. 베이스, 시엔스, 플러그인 등이 함께 들어있어요. 모도 베이스는 곡 작업할 때 굉장히 유용하게 쓸 수 있습니다. 밴드 음악, 가요, 락 장르 하시는 분들의 강추예요. 모도 베이스 2가 75% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
They also include a fretless bass, which is inspired by a Jaco Pastorius jazz bass. Next is a fretless Bassman, which is inspired by a Pino Palladino Music Man Stingray bass.
옥스포드 리미터 V4가 85% 할인 중입니다. 올해 최저가예요. 레알 믹마 꿀템입니다. 레벨이 부족한 악기에 걸면 쉽고 빠르게 작업을 할 수 있어요. 인아웃풋 프리프로세스의 페이더를 조절해 원하는 사운드를 만들 수 있습니다. SSL 밴드 번들이 91% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템하세요.
Let's move on. So we spoke about threshold, which you can control here, or you can do it here, and here. Then with this fader you can inject more gain into the limiter in case you want louder masters, or you can take out some gain in case your audio material is too hot. But just a piece of advice, if your audio material is too hot at the input stage of your limiter, you should address the gain staging in your mastering chain before entering the limiter. So this was the input section. The next section is the pre-process section, where you can customize the attack, the release, and the softness of the limiter. With the auto gain parameter, we are informed that we can engage an additional long-term gain loudness scaling process in order to accommodate wider program ranges. By the way, if you need detailed information about the Oxford limiter, I highly recommend you to read its manual. You'll discover some interesting things there. Like for example, I found out that the auto gain parameter can be used in order to compensate for large level changes. And this is a great option to have because in some of my previous tests, I found out that some limiters do change softer parts of mixes in unwanted ways in relation to louder parts. I'll speak more about this later in this video. But for now, one thing to keep in mind is that according to the manual of Oxford limiter, you may
SlickEQ M이 62% 할인 중입니다. 올해 최저가예요. 레알 EQ 꿀템입니다. 믹스뿐만 아니라 마스터링에 사용해도 좋아요. 악기 밸런스 잡을 때 쓰면 좋습니다. 해당 음역대의 컷 부스트를 통해 원하는 레벨을 잡을 수 있어요. ujam 송라이터 에센셜 번들이 90% 할인 중입니다. 저렴할 때 득템